Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. I feel like I've just been riding a wave all morning, kind of like I said. Like I'm trying to stay. I am staying. I'm not trying. I am. I'm doing a good job of it. It's just like, I don't know. I keep feeling this pull. But I was talking to my ex-husband this morning.
Why? Did he get my email?
Yeah, and I tried to warn him that you were going to email him because he doesn't like surprises like I don't. And he finally texted me back and we talked about nonsense. Like, it's not like we really delved into our relationship or anything. It's just, we talked about just physics and random medical stuff, like neurotechnology and I don't know, kind of a cool project he's been working on with fusion. And basically, I don't know, it's kind of cool. It's mineral combustion, basically, like the creation of minerals. Like it looks like meiosis is what it reminds me of, or mitosis, where they've used certain chemicals and physics to be able to make these minerals appear out of titanium, out of nothing, basically. It's pretty cool. I don't know, it reminds me of kind of how the universe, would create itself, because it's, yeah. And it reminds me a lot of cell replication. It's really cool.
That's awesome.
I don't know, it's a type of fusion. So like I said, we weren't really talking about anything bad or anything. Other than his tinnitus, he got in a wreck, and so he just hears this whining all the time.
So how did he respond to my email?
He didn't say anything about it.
Okay.
I'd been texting back and forth with him. He said that he told me that he didn't know where the book was, and that it doesn't exist anymore, and that I didn't have to worry about it, basically. And that he has everything just in his mind now. He can't get rid of it.
How does that feel?
Well, I don't know. It hurts me to think that he's just constantly tortured by something that's it's real, but it's not something that's real. You know what I mean? It's not something that's actually.
So why is he tortured?
It's just the way that he acts and behaves, and he's kind of in this depressive state where.
But that isn't in reference to you, right?
He does blame me. He says he can't trust anybody. Because he thought that he could trust me, and I was like, well, you obviously don't understand what happened then, repeatedly. I'm like, you don't understand what happened then. Mm-hmm. If that's how you feel. I don't know.
How do you feel about that?
I guess he did. I mean, he said he did tell me, he's like, you don't remember how many times you tried to kill me. And I was like, I don't. And I left because I thought I was going to kill you. I thought I would.
So
eventually.
How would you try to kill him?
I don't remember exactly. I just remember us fighting and being very, very, me feeling very violent. I remember one time, I woke up and I was just smashing the back of his head with my fists. I just repeatedly, just bashing. He curled up in a ball, and I was just bashing the back of his head with my fists. And I left a couple days after that, because I was like, I don't know how I got here. I don't know what led us to this. I don't know anything other than I'm doing this, and I was going to kill him, I think, if I just kept doing it. Not that I'm that strong, but I don't know. That was what I wanted so deeply. And then consciously, I didn't feel that way. Consciously, I was like, what the fuck just happened? Why is this happening? I can't do this. And so he'd be like, can't you go to this facility for 3 months in Texas or Chicago and just be fixed? And I'm like, I don't think that's how it works. And so I'm not going to leave my family, my dog, everything I know, to be in a facility where I don't know what they're going to do to me, and I have no control, which I think would make things worse. And if their intent is just to put me on medication and do cognitive behavioral therapy with me until or EMS or or TMS or whatever it is, you know, until I'm better. I think I'll just stay hospitalized. Like I didn't think that would put me in a place where I would be healthier. If I thought it would work, then I probably would have done it. But he told me that was the only way that we could stay together, was to go to one of those facilities. And so I was like, well, that doesn't work for me. But he says,
about you now?
he says he's still scared that I could kill him.
How does that make you feel to hear that?
Misunderstood. Misrepresented. Because I think when I'm acting in integrity and I'm consciously in my body, there's no way I would do anything close to that.
No.
And I think anybody who loved me would be able to see that.
What was he doing to trigger that aspect? I mean, he was fucking with you. You have to understand.
He was. He was sitting there picking at me every day, over and over.
All these altars and keeping this research and, like, you know, trying to trigger you.
And hurting children. I mean, he was literally harassing my children.
Yeah.
That were in my head.
Yeah.
I mean, and so I mean, I can't blame whatever parts of me wanted to protect that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't blame them for that. Like,
no, but he has to take responsibility for that part. Like, he's not a doctor.
He's not acknowledging that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, truly, like, he was, you know, he probably got you to the point where you were, like, constantly picking versus, like, supporting, right?
Oh, my family definitely blames him for where I was.
Yeah. Yeah. I can see that as well. Do you believe that he doesn't have the book? Yeah, I don't either.
I don't believe he knows exactly where it's at, because he's not that type of person to remember exactly where
Yeah, he'd know if he had, like, destroyed it or something.
I feel like I could feel that.
Yeah. It doesn't
But
feel,
I mean, right.
it doesn't feel true.
And he would lie to me to make me feel better about it. And I know he would have no quarrels or anything with that, because he felt like he'd be doing what was best for me.
Mm-hmm. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Well, you know, I CC'd you on the email I sent him.
I saw that. Yeah, it was good. Thank you.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah. I'm going to go inside. I don't want you to get nauseous with me moving. I just wanted to tell you first.
Okay.
Oh my goodness. I made Maisie peanut butter and apples.
Yeah.
She's so happy. You're covered in peanut butter. I'm going to give her some cereal to clean that up with.
Yeah.
She's so funny. There you go. You have a great time. Well, animal crackers. Sorry. That's why I warned you I was moving. I didn't want you to get. Oh, let me grab my book. I've had some great, I don't know, I feel like I've had some great thought processes lately.
Yeah,
great revelations
like you're
and
really good. What happened with you and Kagan last night? He was on with me when you called and said you were coming by. He seemed
yeah. I mean, I think everything went really well for the most part. He got kind of pissed off whenever he went inside, and then Maisie started screaming, and like I was smoking a cigarette, so I was like, you can't just leave her. Like, you can't just leave her like unattended, because like I don't smoke cigarettes and hold my daughter. You know, so like you can't just do that. So like I was trying to explain to him, like, you're a parent, you can't just walk away like whenever you're responsible for her. Like, and I don't ask you to be a lot of the time, except for like, 10 minutes at a time. So it was just and he got really mad that I put it that way, like he wasn't being a good dad or something, and that it offended him. And I'm like, well, if you're offended, then maybe you should do something about it.
He said he had to pee.
Yeah, he just had to pee, but he didn't even tell me or anything. And I'm like, that's fine. But like, if I have to pee, I have to figure out what I'm doing with my kid.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm the one that's in charge of her,
Yeah.
I can't leave her unattended on the porch with no gate and somebody else smoking down in the yard. That doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You have to consider her, even if you're just going pee, because that's what parents do.
Yeah. Yeah. Feel really good. Where have you been bumping up? Have you been bumping up against anything? What's I mean, because the energy in the universe is a wave. Yeah, I had an intense couple days.
I did. Yeah. But like
I did
yesterday,
too, but just energetically, just like, oh God, I got to get out, So,
but yesterday I got out to that place and I literally just felt like I was on cloud nine. Like it was like 10 out of 10. Like I was just like high and happy and like I just felt so good. Not that I was actually high, but like that I just felt really, I just felt really, really good there. And I could tell Maisie did too. And we just had such a great time.
mm-hmm. Awesome.
And I'll have to go back and check because I want to check on the natural ginger as it grows. So I was like, I'm going to keep going back there because I want to watch the ginger grow, especially out of that really cool tree that I sent you.
Yeah.
I'm going to harvest that ginger. That ginger looks cool.
That's awesome. That's awesome. So these waves that you speak to, what happens when they go like this? What thoughts are coming in?
I think what it is it's just restructuring how I feel about love. And what I want out of it. It's like, I kind of got into a thought process yesterday where I've kind of looked at the intentions of the people that I put myself around, and what they want for me, versus what they want for themselves. And I just feel like I've just put myself around a really lot of selfish people. And part of my head was just like, you don't need to be around garbage people anymore. Not that they're garbage people, it's just that they just have different priorities than I do.
Yeah.
And different wants than I do, and different amounts of ego than I do. Not that that's a bad thing, it's just doesn't resonate well with me.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
And so I think letting go of the idea of maybe possessing people, versus actually loving them, having them versus actually loving them,
Yeah.
And so I can still love them from a distance with all of their qualities, and not completely consume them into my life and have to have them,
Mm-hmm.
But it was that like, I was listening to a poem and it was like, whenever you're in, I'll look up the quote real quick. I'm sorry, I have it right here.
That's okay.
I just really liked it. It just made me feel really good. Oh, but if you only fear, you would seek love and only its pleasures. It's a really long poem. I can send it to you.
Okay.
But it's
I would like to.
Yeah, it's a book from. Let's see if I can do it this way. No, I have to click on it. I don't agree with all of it, but I just like that part of it.
Mm-hmm.
Because I felt like, I don't know, I felt like the type of love that I was seeking was always kind of in fear like that, where I wanted to, I don't know, possess it more than, and just have it, more than be at peace with it and be comfortable with it. I don't know. Oh, where's my Start video. I don't know. So I guess I'm just reevaluating love and what it means to me. And then there's definitely some do this. Okay, there we go. Sorry.
No, that's okay. Well, I love that because, you know, that's truly something we've been really inching into is like, what does it mean to be loved? Love and hurt shouldn't go together.
Right.
And
Right.
love and possession, right?
Right, because love is not possessive. Yeah. And that, yeah. So, well, and I kind of understood that, which is why I was like, if somebody wants to go be with somebody else, then that doesn't bother me as long as they still want to be with me. Like, but in reality, I would still get very jealous. I would still feel that, feel that they would prefer somebody else over me at a point, you know, like why
Well,
would they,
if we, you
feel
know, and
guilty.
jealousy is an emotion that it's like a projection.
Yeah.
So most often when we're jealous of somebody, it's because we're misbehaving.
Yeah. Right. Well, and I feel,
Not always, but you know,
yeah,
frequently.
right. Well, and after that dream that I told you about, or after that guy told me about that dream and that kind of, I don't know, I just felt like, I don't know how to describe it other than like a succubus, you know, it just felt like something was just completely removed from me. And my whole view of sex has just been completely flipped where it's not like this, consuming, like I need it, like it's the only thing that's going to make me feel better. It's like, no, I want to make love. Like I want to make sure that like I give time to this, and like, you know what I mean? Like it's not just
Congratulations,
this
friend.
rolling around thing, you know, like I don't want that with everybody
And I
because,
can really feel that settle come upon you.
right.
So we have to go thank you for the universe for pulling that.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm so grateful for it. And yeah, I've cried about it a few times, but I'm okay.
Yeah.
um, but it feels good. This morning, I think I had a miscarriage. I took medication for it. I took Plan B a couple days ago, which I hate doing. But Kagan, whenever he was not feeling good, I'm pretty sure he impregnated me. And I told him he can't do that. I think it was just he has this fear of losing me. And we were still having sex, so that so he kind of, yeah, tried to secure the deal, because if we have 2 kids, then great. And he was so wonderful to me when when I was pregnant last time, and he thinks I'm so beautiful pregnant and all this. And I think he was off of his medication, and I told him I was very fertile, but it still feels like a loss, you know, like that. I still know, I know what it looks like because I've had them before, where it's just a lot of blood and then nothing. And so that made me kind of sad this morning. But I know it's what needed to happen. It's just, you know, you lose a baby and it's sad either way, even if it's barely there.
Well, and hormonally, it's a big shift too.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. It just, yeah, it's still a loss, but I just try to have love for it and love for the past that it's created by not being there.
Yeah, and you know, you being conscious enough to know that it's not right. It's not the right time.
No. Yeah. So, and you can think of what if, but what if is not what's meant to be. Like this is what was supposed to happen. This is what's happened. So there's no predicting the future about it. This is the way it is. So that's okay. It's not good or bad. It's just what's happened. Yeah. And it allows for a future that I want, and a future that Maisie wants and deserves as much as, sorry, her TV turned off. Here you go, baby. Woo! She didn't look at me. She doesn't even care. I just keep thinking about that acting and integrity and acting, I don't know, doing the things every day. Like if everything that I did every day was something that I had to tell every single person that I knew, would I still be proud of it? You know, is kind of what I've been asking myself. Like if I had to tell everybody every single thing I did today, would I be proud of what I did? Like if I told my grandma about it, would she be proud of me if I told my mom about it? Or
anytime we're feeling like we have to keep a secret, we're
right.
of integrity, right?
Yeah, we're not in integrity. So
not that every person has to know everything, but you know.
No, not that they have to, but if I wanted
if they did, yeah.
If I wanted to tell somebody something, I wouldn't want to have to feel like I had to hide it.
Right.
Which is what happens whenever I'm not acting in integrity entirely.
Super proud of you, Brooke. You sound good. I know you hit like a there for a second, but sometimes we do before we go over the next hump, you know. And you feel really good.
I do. Yeah, I do. I do feel really good. And I keep feeling like I have to remove things from me. Like I know, like with these waves, like I'm allowing things in sometimes, but I feel like I'm able to get them off and figure it out and free myself of them pretty easily. It's just things are kind of used to me being open.
But you know what? You're learning how to deal with that.
Yeah.
And take control over it. And the more you do, the less they'll come.
And I recognize it. Yeah. Because I know it's
somebody else to stick to.
Well, and I feel like it's just like a normal migration for them to occasionally come back to me. And I think once they realize that I don't have any food for them anymore, they'll shift their path or just not come back.
Yeah, and that's true. That's totally true. What I've realized is if I entertain a thought, you know, that is a backwards loop.
Yeah.
I mean, 2.5 seconds. That's where the world is right now. It's like, boom. And even though I know it, like yesterday, I had to just go be at the river for a while.
Yeah.
Right. You know, it was just like, you know, that's usually a way I break it. And so, it was a big shift for you to get outside and go to the creek too. So you need to just keep that in your bucket, you know. You start feeling like that, go. You know, because the energy in the air is very irritable energy.
It is.
It's very irritable, right? And not even bad, just kind of,
I don't know, tight vibrations. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like my skin can feel it, especially if I'm in front of the computer for too many hours. So.
Yeah. I have a deionizer. I need to get more because I know that really helps, like with the feel of the house. It was like the positive and negative ions and stuff.
Yeah. See, that happens very naturally in nature, right?
Yeah.
Because the trees and the water and the earth are all making those positive ions.
They're moving, yeah.
And the rolling of the water. That's why I like to be by the creek or the river versus a pond, right? Because the water is moving.
Well, and with so much like electronics going, it releases negative ions. And so you're just constantly trapped around it when you're inside.
Yeah.
I don't know. So yeah, it does better. But I need more deionizers because I know like since we run so many things, that's what happens sometimes too. So I'll stay in that.
Oh, I know that's what happened to me. Like I'd just been working really hard and you know, it was just like I got up one morning and was like, couldn't hardly make myself walk in here. And it wasn't about the work, it was about this computer. I was like, oh my gosh, like,
yeah.
So, anyhow.
Well, I'm glad it got better. Yeah, that spot was definitely just a wonderful, wonderful spot. I really liked it.
Oh, yeah. I love that. I love that spot. Absolutely. It's one of my favorites. I've even shot some videos down there by those mossy rocks. Is that where you were?
Yeah.
We're on the spot. Yeah, all those big square rocks full of moss. Oh, so beautiful. And also, I did have a dog slide down that one time.
Oh my gosh.
Trying to walk and it was like,
oh, wow.
So it's slick. Be careful if you try to cross over there. It's really slick.
I tried to stay on the other side because the water was so high and rough.
Yeah.
But I was like, I'll cross that another day. And I had Maisie wrapped to me, so I was like, yeah, I don't need to go.
Mm-hmm.
I ventured where the water was less, where the water was more shallow, and then it ended up being so muddy. I felt like I was in sinking sand. So I was like, yeah, we're just gonna avoid this.
Yeah, I was thinking about going out there this afternoon. I do like to go to the river too, out at Eagle Bluffs. Actually, yesterday I saw 3 eagles sitting in a tree together.
Oh my gosh.
And crazy enough, it wasn't even in the bluffs. It was right on Route K.
Huh.
Yeah, just right next to the road, 3 eagles. And there's hardly anybody out, so I was able to pretty much just stop in the road and
Enjoy it for a second. Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
I have had a weird transition too my whole life. So my whole life, I whenever I drive by roadkill, I just kind of mourn it. Like I feel like I'm like, oh, that's so sad. Like I love you. I'm sorry. Namaste. Like let's just keep going. And yesterday I noticed whenever I was driving around that I didn't feel that. I just felt like this warm love. I was like, oh, that animal. Like, oh, I just love you. It wasn't like, oh, I'm so sad you died. It's like, no, I'm not sad that you died. I just love that you got to live. Like I didn't feel, I don't know, it was kind of neat. Like I've never
I had this conversation with another client, and she kind of got annoyed at me, but she was like, I just feel like I get up every morning and I cry for what's going on in the world. And I'm like, instead, why don't you send love out?
Right? It's so much better.
We don't want to send tears out. There are enough of those. So let's send some joy, some laughter, turn on some music and dance in honor of everyone, right? Like I'm like, she was like, it's okay for me to feel compassion. I'm like, you can feel compassion without it being accompanied by sadness.
Exactly. And what I found is that sadness is so draining. You can't be sad forever, but you can love forever. You can be happy forever. It's perfectly fine. It's endless.
And compassion is endless.
Right. It doesn't have a stop. Where sadness just brings you down and down and down and down. Like that mourning is just
when I train the practitioners, that's a piece. I'm like, you can't get into the sorrow. You can't,
because it's not real.
And like you can't sit and cry for what this person went through. Right? Like my marketing person, every time she sees me do demo, she was like, I was crying the whole time. Like, you need to stop, right? Because we're coming through that. But like as a working with somebody, if I got into your sadness, we'd never get out of it.
Right.
Right.
It's just a pit. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is an inner
somebody has to stay up on the edge and go,
Yeah. Yeah. I want to ride with water. Like, yeah, it's so much better. It feels so much better.
I know. You look really good.
Thank you. I feel really good. I made a fishing date. I told Kagan, I was like, I haven't had a day off in months. I want to go down to my favorite spot where I used to fish with my mom and go catfishing. I don't eat them. I just like, whenever I pull them out of the water, they like chirp at me and they're really easy to get off and stuff. They're so cute. And they get fed. They're happy. They get food. Yeah. But one of my friends that used to live with one of my mom's friends, I think I'm going to meet up with him because he's got a house out there. And we were just going to go fishing and stuff. He had a boat, but I don't know. He said his boat's not doing so well. But either way, I don't know. He used to be an old family friend, so I thought he'd be a safe person to hang out with. And
awesome. So when are you going fishing? And listen, you are powerful now. You have that little girl that was like, no, get off me, right? No.
Yeah, I'm not worried about him at all. He used to be a police officer. And then he stopped. Yeah. When
are you going fishing? I like that.
Saturday.
Oh, fun.
Yeah. So I'm gonna
keep Maisie, or are you taking her too?
He's gonna keep her for once. So he's like, can't 3 of us go? And I was like, no, I think it'd be better if I just went and I just hung out, and I might meet up with my friend and it'll be good. And I'm like, we can have breakfast that morning if you want to hang out as a family, but I think I deserve a day off.
Yeah. Congratulations. I'm proud of you. That's going to be so good for you.
Yeah, thank you. I'm so excited about it. Yeah. I don't know. He has a daughter and a son, and he's got a big black German Shepherd, and I just love big black German Shepherds. And she's a girl. Her name's Eve. So I'm pretty sure she's going to come hang out with us. And like I said, I just love that lake. That's just where my mom and I used to go and just spend all day, like every day for so many days in a row. And so I just want to be there and just feel that love a little bit, because I know I have it for that lake and that lake has it for me. So it'll be fun.
Oh, I'm so excited for you. You don't know how proud I am of you.
Thank you. Thanks for putting up with me when I wasn't feeling good.
Oh, of course. We all have those, that's my job. Like, I don't get offended. Okay?
Yeah, I still want to find those parts of me that seem to be hiding, that is lashing out at men. I don't like that. But I'm not worried about that with this guy right now. I'm not worried that I'm going to go have sex with him or something and something bad's going to happen. I'm just going to try to act in integrity and have like a good, like, just happy day.
So how is this lashing out at men showing up right now?
So one of my friends, the friend that I told you about, Ramsey, that whenever he touched my butthole, that I got really uncomfortable and I actually hit him, which I didn't remember hitting him, but he told me that I definitely did. And then just the abusive person that I was towards Colin, I know that part of me still exists. I know that part of me is not as in focus or integrated as I would like, where I feel like so many parts of me have been really well integrated and I can still access them, feel them, but it's controlled and it's there and I understand it. Where with this part, I really don't understand it. I know it was made out of protection. I know I know it's been singled out and put into that place for a reason. I just feel like I feel like in order to feel like a whole piece of the puzzle, like I have to know what that is.
Back, yeah, for sure. We haven't really gotten there. I mean, till just right now, and that's Do you feel like that's something you're prepared to do right now?
I don't know. I just get all these red flags about it. It just like it makes my palms sweaty and my head sweaty, and it's just like, no, you can't do this. No, you can't go here. No, this isn't, you know what I mean? And so I feel like, I'm like, well, what are you doing? That's not an integrity. Why can't I be a part of this too? Like, I feel like it's a dishonest part of me that just exists. And I don't like that, even though it's not dishonest. I'm sure it's just something that's trying to protect me, but I don't want it. I don't want it to be so intense.
So when you close your eyes, how do you feel right now? Because I can feel it.
Yeah. The number that comes up is 10, but I don't know what that means.
Okay.
I don't know where that's from.
Mm-hmm. So this little 10-year-old, where did you live then?
I couldn't tell you. Maybe Florida. Maybe here.
Let's see if we can find her and see where she is.
I remember my sister told me that whenever we moved, fourth grade, whenever we moved here, moved to Florida from Missouri to Florida. On our way back from Florida, whenever we moved back, my sister told me, she said, nobody remembers you. They said they remember an idea of you. You don't have to be, because I was bullied a lot whenever I lived in Florida. She said, you don't have to be bullied like that. You don't have to have people think that of you. You can shower, you can do everything that you want. You can make your hair nice. You can be whoever you want. And it was really nice. Like, my oldest sister, Donnell, I thought it was a really nice thing. Like, she was like, you don't have to have this consume you, basically. And then I felt like I was just wearing different masks. You know what I mean? Like, I felt like people accepted me and people liked me. And like I said, I went homecoming queen and court warming queen, but I never really got that close to anybody. because I just felt like I was always putting on the mask that other people wanted to see whenever they wanted to see it. Never truly embracing who I am or what I like, not even knowing what I liked.
So
Because
was
what I
that
liked
when
didn't
you moved
matter.
back
I
to
wanted to be what I
Missouri,
liked
or when you moved to Florida?
when I moved here
Okay, from Florida.
from Florida.
Okay.
Because I had such a hard time in Florida, and I know my sister Donnell knew that. And so I think that's what she was kind of trying to me. What's that?
Why did you have such a hard time? What was going on?
Well, I just didn't have very many friends, and I'd gotten bullied, and I had my one friend Allah that I sat with at lunch, and I had those black girls that didn't like me because I wasn't black, and I had those older kids that thought I was gross, and so they would bully.
Why did they think you were gross?
Because I didn't brush my hair. I had wild, crazy hair, and I liked it.
Oh. Okay. So
My mom didn't like it though either.
but that's what you wanted. How old were you when you had your hair all wild and crazy?
Pretty much as long as my mom didn't touch it, I would have it be wild and crazy.
I love that.
For as long as I could. She cut it off whenever I was in 4th grade to like a bob cut. I had like a bowl cut kind of, and I had like a little ducktail and bangs and everything. It was so, I don't know. I had a mullet for a while, and I told her she couldn't cut the back of my hair, and then she was like, as soon as she could, like she cut it off into like a bowl cut. It was so funny.
So
But
the 10-year-old, okay, just close your eyes. And first response, are you in Florida? Is the 10-year-old in Florida or in Missouri?
Missouri.
Okay. And where is she living?
This one's so hard for me. I don't know.
Okay. Is she at school or is she at home?
We lived with grandma.
Okay.
I couldn't have my dog anymore. I couldn't have Junior anymore because we moved.
Well, what happened to Junior?
He went back to live with his parents. They kept him. They were weird people. They had a cow on a leash, like with a rope leash. It was Florida, so like you could do whatever you want.
Interesting.
They had a Boston Terrier that thought it was a Basset Hound, and it would bark like a Basset Hound. It had like the weirdest like Boston Terrier bark, like it would be, I don't know, so freaking funny. It really thought it was a Basset Hound. So I don't know if you can imagine a Boston Terrier attempting to bark like a Basset Hound, but it's so funny. But he went and lived with his parents. They named him Junior as a puppy because he looked just like his dad, and he did look like his dad when he grew up. He was just smaller. He was just a more petite dude.
So was she really sad?
Yes. Yeah. I didn't have friends, you know. I don't know. He was my best friend.
Okay. So the 10-year-old, is she with her dog right now?
No,
Oh, she doesn't have her dog. So is she mourning her dog?
well, I got upset, so I tried to take a bath, but my grandma had to go to work. And so she tore me out of the bathtub.
What
And she
did
said,
Go ahead.
"What?
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah, because she had to go to work, and I didn't know. But I was sad, so I was trying to take a bath to not be sad. And I didn't have anywhere else to go because I didn't have my own room. And I didn't have any, I don't know, I don't like my parents. I just thought it would make me feel better because I didn't have a pool anymore either. I didn't have a pool. I didn't have a yard. I didn't have a dog. I didn't have anything. I didn't even have my stuff because we didn't know where we were going to live, so we didn't have any stuff. And then our cat, they took our cat and they got off all of her claws, and she was awful. She was so mean because she didn't want her claws taken, but my grandma said she couldn't stay in the house unless she had all of her claws off. So here's this cat, 3 years old, who already hates me, and then you take away all of its claws and put it in a cage for a fucking month and expect that it's going to go well. I just don't understand.
So what happened when Grandma pulled you out of the tub?
I couldn't fight her.
No, no. But you were mad, weren't you?
Yeah, because I didn't have anywhere else to go.
I know. And why didn't you like your mom and dad?
They weren't really present. They were there, but they weren't there. They were there for themselves. And in crisis, they really weren't the people you wanted anyways, because they weren't intelligent about it.
Did they do something that that made you not like them in a big way?
Well, my dad, he had kicked me whenever we were in Florida. He kicked me. He got drunk, and we were in my sister's room. He heard my sister say on the phone she was going to have sex. He drank a whole bottle of Jim Beam and Jim Beam. I don't know. And he said he got upset, and he punched a hole through the table. And we locked ourselves in Donnell's room because he was really upset and breaking stuff. But I went outside to him, and he was nice to me. He said, "Don't remember me like this. Remember me like a good dad." I always will. But he came into the bedroom later, and he was very upset with us all. And Donnell, I slept at the end of the bed, and Donnell, as always, because I always slept at the foot of the bed, and all three of the other kids would always sleep at the front. But I couldn't smell, so feet didn't bother me. I'd just rather be alone. And so my dad pulled me out, I think, thinking I was Donnell because he was drunk. And then once Donnell realized that's what had happened, she jumped in and she started taking it. And then my mom, being the little woman she is, couldn't do much, of course, but she got in the way of it at least. And my dad told her that my sister was a whore just like she was. Because my mom had already cheated on my dad a lot. And she asked me when we moved back from Florida after my grandpa died if I wanted to move to Florida with her and leave my siblings. I don't know. I just don't. I don't think she would be proud of what she does. I don't know.
Be part of what she does. What do you mean?
I just don't think that she is a fully conscious person. I think she's like a third conscious. Like, I feel like she knows that there's stuff that she doesn't want to know, and she's perfectly fine with not knowing that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
She wants to live in ignorance. I don't mean that in like an unintelligent way. I mean like literally ignoring things.
No, I understand. So this little girl, what is she feeling?
I think what happened is I had hope. I had hope that things could be different. And I do still have hope. I always have hope. There's above anything I have hope. I know that. But I don't.
This little girl was angry, man.
Yeah, I just don't think I could. I just don't. I don't know. I just don't know how to get away from them.
Get away from your dad? Or who?
Like, I've always been good. I've always been good at figuring out angry people. I've always been good at figuring out what to do with them. But sometimes I just don't know.
So does that make you angry?
Yeah, I just wish I knew, so I just try to figure out what would be the right thing to do. What could I do if I were the strongest person in the world? What could I do if I were 2 feet taller? What could I do if I had spikes on my hand? Like just like random things. If I had could carry the biggest rock in the world, smash somebody with it if they decided that they were going to try to hurt me, what would I do?
So did you ever?
I feel like there has to be a solution, right? Like, people can't just do that. You can
No.
take
So did
it.
you ever hurt anybody else?
I just don't, you just can't take it though.
I know. But do you think right now that sometimes your anger is spilling over?
If they love me, they wouldn't do that.
Well, that's true. That's true. But could it be possible, right, that we start choosing people where love means something different? And then we don't have to hit them.
Yeah.
Right? If we choose people that we can trust, right? Do you think there are people you can trust?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can you trust you?
They don't like me anymore.
Who doesn't like you anymore?
Donnell, she doesn't like me.
Why?
Because I scared her.
How did you scare her?
Because she tried to come get me out of the car and I kissed her.
Why did you kiss her?
Because she wouldn't listen. She wouldn't stop.
What was she wanting to do?
She wanted to come talk to me and I just couldn't hear it. And I couldn't make the world stop spinning. And she just kept trying to come into my space, and my space was already so little. And then she just kept trying to come in, and I just couldn't do it. I just couldn't let her in because it just wasn't, she was trying to hurt me.
Was she trying to hurt you, or was she trying to help you?
A lot of people hurt me when they try to help me.
How was she going to hurt you?
She may have tried to hold me down. I think I thought she could have held me down, and I didn't have anywhere to go and I couldn't see.
What made you feel like this? What happened?
I just got scared because Dexter spilled milk, and then I didn't know how to fix it. And
Who's Dexter?
Donnell's oldest boy.
Why did that make you afraid for him to spill milk?
Because I thought that I was going to get in trouble.
Why?
Because I get in trouble. Because I spill stuff a lot.
And who gets you in trouble?
My mom gets mad at me, and my dad gets mad at me, and then my dad gets mad at the whole house. And then I don't know how to stop it.
Oh, so does that make you mad?
No. I just don't want him to do that anymore.
Yeah? So what do you do?
I have to get mad.
Yeah? What if you
Because
didn't have
nothing
to?
else works. Because no one listens.
What if you don't have to get mad anymore?
I heard the baby. Are you okay? You're covered in peanut butter. I'm sorry. You can't be in peanut butter. You gonna let the puppy lick you? You gonna let the puppy eat you? Hey, there's peanut butter. Come be contained. No. Little ma'am, please stop. Please stop. Please stop. Let's try this. There's the FBI warning. It's so interesting. Read all the words. You're a good baby. I'll be right back, okay? You watch your show. Can I turn it up? You already hear. Big girl. I think they're contained again. I'm sorry. She got upset. I think what I hear is I don't know how to make people stop. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to do when they're not.
So what
if they're not recoverable? I think that's what it is.
Yeah, could you possibly leave and choose not to go back to unstable people?
Well, not if my whole family is.
Well, yeah, but what if today you didn't have to do that? What if today you could come live with Brooke and not have to do that? And then you guys could make a really safe space.
Ooh, what did she do?
Brooke's really doing well and she's very in control, right?
But she doesn't know what to do.
Well, yeah, because she wouldn't make the choice to be with people that would hit her. Right? Because hitting is not love.
Right. But how do you know? How do you know that someone's not going to do that?
Well, we just have to trust our bellies.
It's
Right?
just my dad is the best person I've ever met, and he still does that.
Well, that's because he's got some problems too that he's having to work through. But when he's like that, that is not love, right? And
No.
you know, as Brooke is getting healthier and healthier, the people that she's choosing, she's starting to recognize that what she thought was love was not love. So then we don't have to be in a position where we need to fight. What do you think that would feel like?
I don't know where that place is.
Mm-hmm. So, Brooke, could you talk to her and tell her how you're finding that place? Are you there?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you need to tell this little girl? Tell her you don't want to fight anymore. You don't want to have to hit people anymore.
Yeah.
Tell me what words are around. What are you thinking?
Well, if you live So we live alone, which means we choose everyone that comes in. We choose everybody that goes out. and no one's allowed to come here that would hurt us. And I believe that.
And can we promise this little girl that we're not going to allow anyone to hurt her? We're just not going to allow it.
And we have a dog too, which is pretty cool.
And the baby.
And a baby. I mean, I like babies too. But no one can do that.
No. Tell her Brooke's really learning to respect herself. Brooke is really learning to respect herself, and she's learning to see the difference between possession and love. And when we hit somebody, that's out of a space of possession. That's, and we don't want that in any shape or form, right?
Yeah. Because we don't, yeah. I mean, I don't even hit dogs. I don't hit anything.
Yeah.
Or flies.
So
or June bugs.
Yeah. So can we explain to her that we understand why she did, but we don't have to do that anymore. And it's really like getting in the way today. And that doesn't mean that we have to allow people to do things to us. There's just a different way to handle that.
Yeah. And we can see strangers and not want to kill them, which is good.
Why do you want to kill strangers?
Well, I just have to be prepared. I just have to be prepared that if there was something that would happen, that I would have the equipment necessary to protect myself, especially out by myself. But yesterday, I didn't think about that yesterday.
Good.
So I guess we don't do.
No, because we can be aware without being afraid.
And people who don't think they possess us wouldn't just hit us.
No.
Wouldn't just harm us.
And strangers aren't going to just harm us.
Right.
Plus, you always have your dog.
He's useless, but yes.
They don't know that.
He's a giant. He doesn't even have teeth.
Well, but they don't know that.
That's true. He's a good dog. He's been a scaredy cat lately, but I think that's my fault.
Why?
Because I get scared because he gets under my feet. And I get scared I'm going to trip.
And so what happens?
Well, I just move him. I just can't stand that he keeps doing that and he's trying to trip me. But then it's like he's not trying to trip me.
Do you holler at him?
I think he is. Huh?
You holler at him or do you hit him?
He can't hear me, so I have to move him with my foot. And I just, usually if I just walk fast enough, then he doesn't come near me.
Well, could it be possible that he's trying to have some affection rather than trying to trip you? Because I don't think dogs do that. And I think he probably is pretty afraid if you're moving him around with your foot.
That's probably true. He doesn't like to play with me.
So do you think if you were nicer to him, he would?
Yeah, I just didn't think of it as being mean.
Yeah, I think he is afraid of that.
Yeah, I don't like to be loved that way.
Mhm. And all he wants is to protect you and love you. But you have to let him.
I just get scared of him sometimes, that he's gonna do something
What do you think he's going to do?
like bite me or bite the baby.
Has he ever bitten you?
No,
Has he ever tried to bite you?
no.
Has
When
he
he was a puppy, he played, but he just played. It wasn't real. He's just a bulldog, so he doesn't know how tough he is. Just
so
like most people.
has he ever tried to bite the baby?
Not really. He moves her with his mouth. He doesn't try to hurt her. Kind of like I move him with my feet. I don't try to hurt him. It's just
So could it be possible that maybe if you stopped doing that, he would stop doing that? Because it is kind of that space of being in possession of someone else's body.
yeah. It does seem controlling when you say it that way.
Yeah. And we don't want him to be afraid of you. He loves you.
No. No, I love him too.
So one
I
thing
just
one thing that makes life so scary is that if we put the bad ugly label on everything, there's nothing to make us happy. There's nothing left. So we have to choose to see things as they are versus seeing them through the lens of an old story, right? Because your dog has never done anything wrong to you,
no. No, he hasn't. He's a good boy.
and he's never really done anything to scare you, has he?
No.
So do you think you could trust him?
Yeah. He's just goofy.
Yeah. So are you.
Yeah,
Yeah. So is Macy.
she is.
And Goofy's a good thing.
Yeah.
So how are you feeling right now? Do you feel like you can trust Brooke?
I'm still scared of that
Why?
because I don't know what her plan is. And honestly, I think if I did know, that would help, but I still don't know, anyways.
Okay, so what if she could tell you? Would you be open to hear?
Yeah, I just don't know that you wouldn't change it.
Huh? She
Everyone changes their plans. It's never, you say we're going to live here forever, and then we never do.
But Brooke gets to make her own home now. She doesn't have to move unless she wants to. And she's been working really hard. She's brought so many of you guys home. She needed you.
I don't want her to talk to Colin again, though.
Okay. I think you should tell her that. Can we call Brooke back for a minute?
I don't know.
She's been working to make different choices, and maybe you could help her if you were actually here and not so mad. Maybe you could tell her from the inside, no, let's not do that.
It's hard to think slow.
Well, but you wouldn't. It wouldn't be so hard if you weren't separate. Because you could help her make some different choices. Because I feel more than being mad at everyone else, you're kind of mad at Brooke, aren't you? Yeah? I can't see you.
Oh. Sorry.
You kind of mad at Brooke?
I am, so.
Mm-hmm. Now, what are you mad for her about?
She put us with these boys. I don't even like boys, but she put us with these boys.
What do you want to tell her, Brooke?
I don't think they're safe. I don't think it's smart. I don't think it's a good idea. But she doesn't care that I say that over and over. And
Maybe
then we get in those positions. And then she gets mad at me. Like I'm the one doing something surprising here. But she's the one doing surprising things. That's hurting us.
And you know what? You're exactly right. And so that makes you feel like you need to fight. But what if?
And she's stupid.
Well, she's not stupid. She just
I
has
think she's stupid.
had a lot of really bad things happen to her. So could it be?
Well, wouldn't that seem like that would help? Like, wouldn't you think that you would remember that?
No, that's not how it works, unfortunately. Just like she didn't remember you, right? So is it possible that you being here with her could help her not get in those positions in the first place?
Listen.
Well, but I think she would if you were actually here. Brooke's been working really hard, and she really wanted to make contact with you today.
That's that, but she won't listen.
I think she would now. I think she would now. But I think she needs you to help her. And she's really sorry. She was very sick, but she's not sick today.
I'm not allowed to be there.
Allowed to be where?
With her. She told me.
Well, that was before. Today, she's inviting you home. And she's really sorry.
She says I can't come home until I promise not to hurt anybody. So I'm not allowed to come home. I'm not even supposed to be here.
Well, but you are. And we both invited you here. And yes, she doesn't want you to hurt anybody anymore. because she wants you to help her not get in the positions to where anyone needs to be hurt. And she knows she needs you for that. Because she lost her fight and it got all wrapped up in you. So do you think you could help her bring her fight back?
Yeah, I'm pretty strong.
Yeah. She really needs you. And that way you can help her keep Maisie and her and you safe. And that can be done without hitting.
Yeah, I don't hit her.
I know, but I mean without hitting anyone. Right? Because you can in her belly say, Brooke, no. And she promises to try her best to listen. Yeah?
Yeah. I just don't know what I'll do if she doesn't.
Well, then we'll have another talk. All right? Do you want to hear it from Brooke's mouth?
I heard her. I just don't believe her.
Okay. All right. Would you give her some time to prove it to you?
Yeah, if I don't have to be locked in that stupid place anymore.
She's wanting you to come home. She really wants you to come home. And she wants you to be able to play. Like yesterday, they were at the creek all day playing. Wouldn't that be fun?
What if I hurt someone?
Well, I think that you have more chance of hurting someone being locked up like that.
What if I make her hurt someone?
Well, you're hurting more people now.
Yeah, because she can't hear me.
Oh, but you're coming out anyway.
Yeah, she doesn't like that.
When you come
A
out,
lot of people don't like that.
yeah. So what if you guys could just both come out together? And what if you didn't have to fight anymore? What if? Doesn't that sound amazing? To be able
Yeah, I would want equal say.
And how does Brooke feel about that?
We have to vote. We always have to vote.
Well, not always, because you never used to have to vote, right?
No, because I was just doing whatever I wanted.
I know. So, but if you get to vote, that means your vote counts.
That's true. At least I'm not there anymore.
Mm-hmm. And what if you could just go play? Like Brooke had so much fun yesterday, and you could have been with her. And then
I didn't have to be there.
but wouldn't it have been fun? And maybe if you're with her, she wouldn't have to be afraid.
But if I'm scary, then I would scare her.
Well, but you don't scare so easy.
No. I mean, yeah, I'm jumpy, but I'm not scared.
Yeah, and Brooke's getting a lot less jumpy. So maybe together you guys could make a good balance, like the yin and yang. Do you think that's possible? Do Do you think that that separation of the yin and yang is the reason why Brooke gets in those positions and you're always angry? What if we could put it back together?
My turtles. I had turtles named Yin and Yang.
Mm-hmm.
One ran away. The other one drowned another turtle. And then she lived for like 6 more years, and she got so big. I gave her to a marine biologist. He was really nice. He liked her.
So do you think we could bring this little girl home?
I'm just worried about the drowning aspect of the yin and yang. She drowned her Yang, which was the girl's name, ironically, drowned Hercules.
That's not you. That's
Yeah. That was just a story.
Yeah, that's not you. And maybe that was you then with the split. Maybe that's symbolic of the split.
She would never let me do that. But I want equal say. Because I know she won't protect herself.
Well, that's true. That's why she really needs you to come back. And then you don't have to come out swinging all the time. Because from the gate, you're going to be making different choices.
I don't want to be alone.
Oh, good. Good.
I don't like that option.
What option?
There should be more.
Of coming with Brooke?
Yeah.
Why?
I just don't know her. I just don't know.
She's got a pretty good life going. And she's been working with me really hard. She's been working really hard. And maybe you got to give her some benefit of the doubt. Right? She told me this morning that there was a flip switch around this whole like sex thing and what love meant. Like she's made some huge strides in shifting how relationships would be. And I think it would be really advantageous to both of you to try to work together.
And she loves Dad, and he's mean. And she loves Grandma, and she's mean. She loves Donnell, and she's mean.
Well, are they mean or are they just not fitting?
Hurt people.
Like,
Just hurt.
love your family and not allow them to hurt you. Right? You can.
Yeah.
And maybe you can help her learn that. She really needs you.
I think we're smart enough to do that.
Yeah, I think you are. I know you are. Because every time she brings one of you back, she learns so much. So would you help teach her?
I think I could.
I know you could. I know you could, because you know when she's making choices that aren't going to be good for you guys. You know that, right? So you
And
can,
I can say it instead of being there if she lets me.
she'll let you. She wants to know because she wants to change.
Because we don't hide anymore.
No, and she's the reason why we're here today talking to you.
And we're not going to be put in a place.
No,
We're not gonna go to jail or go to the hospital.
absolutely not. Brooke's doing really, really well. She's talking about going back to work.
I was good at working.
Oh, yeah?
I was really good at working.
What do you think? You want to come back?
I'm a good manager.
We'll see. What does a mother need more than to be a good manager?
Well, yeah.
Maybe you could help her with some of that.
Yeah, because people didn't listen to her. It was funny. Yeah. I haven't felt this way for a minute.
What way?
Hopeful.
Awesome.
I mean, I'm not scared, but I'm more hopeful than not scared. Or than scared.
Awesome.
I believe you.
And can we turn scared into excitement? About a
It
new,
could be that. It could be that.
let's switch that word and see how that feels. Because it could be pretty exciting to not have to be angry all the time.
And alone.
And alone. And afraid. That feels pretty exciting to not feel like that anymore, doesn't it?
If that could just be then and not in the past. If that doesn't have to happen again.
Well, she's been working really hard for that to not happen again. And with you, I think she could make some huge strides. I mean, it was her idea to come here today. She really wanted to apologize to you. And she really wanted you to come play with her. She said you didn't get to play enough.
No.
Yeah. So what if you could learn to play?
It could be cool.
It could be super cool. I think we could talk Brooke into taking you somewhere to play today if you came back.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
Because we wanted to go somewhere anyways.
Well, good.
Yeah. Because I need to get my yeah, for tomorrow. But I don't have to just be there. I don't have to do that. Because we could all be there.
Yeah,
I think that'll go better.
I do too.
I miss them.
Yeah, so what if you could both go fishing?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be fun, right? Brooke's going fishing tomorrow. I really think you should come back and go with her.
I've never been fishing.
Oh, she loves to fish. You're going to love it.
That is not the right speed for me. But I guess if I slowed down with them.
Might feel good to slow down a little bit and just be able to sit on the water and rest. You've been running for a really long time. What if you could just rest? Could feel like vacation.
Yeah, because I usually just have to pop in and do everything as fast as I can
Yeah.
before somebody notices and kicks me out and says, "You're supposed to be in your hole."
You don't have to go back to the hole because there's not a need anymore.
Yeah.
There's not a need to fight anymore. You just rest. Lay in the
You
floor.
know, I couldn't ever really hit anybody anyways. I just didn't have it. My sister, she could give me a bloody nose, and I could never hit her. It didn't matter what. I'd just say, why would you do this to me? I could never do this to you. Like, literally, my arm just stops. Like, it just doesn't move anymore. It's just powerless.
But you have been hitting people. Did you forget?
Wow. I think it's their fault. But Brooke says it's not their fault, which is why I end up in the hole.
Well, I think that we're gonna choose a time and a life where it's not necessary. It's not necessary to hit people today.
So it's not anyone's fault.
Yeah, we just don't have to do it anymore. We're not blaming you and we're not blaming them. We're just saying we don't have to do that anymore. We just want you to come back and just play.
It's just everything together. I can't defend myself.
But you
But
have
if I really don't have to, then that's not a problem. But if I have to, then that's where I get the hung up part.
we do know that you do know how to defend yourself. We have Kagan to prove that, right? So we know that you do. But what if you didn't have to? Because we know you can. That's why Brooke needs you, right? But together you can make choices where it's not necessary.
Yeah.
And I understand. I have a little you too. Because I had to fight a lot. Or she had to fight a lot. But today, neither one of us have to fight, and we just get to both play. What if you and Brooke could be like that?
It'd be good.
Yeah, because you'd have to teach her how to play. She doesn't even know, man.
Yeah, she's very bad at things.
She's not bad at things at all. She just missed learning how to play because she was always fighting and having to defend herself.
Yeah.
We don't have to do that anymore. Because Brooke's not alone, right?
No.
And you both have me, right? So you're not having to make these choices all by yourself anymore, right? And pretty soon you're going to have each other and you're not going to even need me anymore.
Well, that doesn't sound like a goal. I
Well,
guess that would be.
for you to not need me anymore, that doesn't mean we can't still be connected. You don't need me to help you make your choices, right?
Yeah.
Because you get to grow.
Yeah. It would be more of a want than a need.
Yeah. It's not to mean that we don't always have a need for a sounding board, but Brooke's getting more and more solid.
I think I could do that.
Yeah. All right. Can you go find Brooke?
Yeah, she's hanging around.
Okay. Can you give her a hug? Brooke's going to put a hand on your chest, and I want you to put a hand on her chest, and I want you to feel those hearts sink. You're one. You were never intended to be separate. It's so hard to be alone as a little girl. So are you ready to come home?
I think so.
Okay. Can I talk to Brooke for a
Sure.
minute? Okay. All right. Can I talk to Brooke for a minute? Hey, Brooke, are you there?
Yeah.
Okay. I would like for you to get in charge of this spin. Can you do that?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Can you be a mom to her right now? I feel like she just needs a mom right now. Right? And you're such a good mom. Right? She had to raise herself. That's scary. Are you guys ready to start spinning?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. So we're going to hold hands and we're going to start spinning. And we're going to spin faster and faster and faster. We're spinning so fast we can't see each other. We can't see anything anymore. We're just spinning so fast. And as the energy begins to slow and your feet come back down to the earth, the grown up you is the only one left. You know when that's real and true for you.
Yeah.
And if you look around, is the little girl gone?
Yeah.
Good. Good. So we're going to bring you back. We're going to drop down through the atmosphere, through the clouds, through the roof, through the top of your head, into the corpus callosum. Draw that energy behind your eyes back. Fill up your chest, your arms, your fingers, your belly, thighs, calves, all the way to the bottoms of your feet. Can you find the pulse in the big toe of your right foot? Or does it feel like it's stopping?
I don't feel it.
You don't feel like you're in your body at all? Where do you see?
Uh,
Come on in. Let's come
I'll
in.
have to stop again. Yeah.
Where are you? Where do you see yourself?
I just feel like I'm floating above myself, like some weird bird person.
Okay, come on in. Right? We're going to come in through the top of your head. Right. Coming in. Right. I want you to feel that triangle forming in your head. Left, right brain, third eye.
Okay.
Right. We're going to fill up your chest. Yeah?
Yeah, I feel that.
Your arms. Your fingers. Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Your belly.
Yeah, I'm hungry.
Huh?
I said I'm hungry.
Good. Perfect. Can you feel your toes now?
Yeah.
Perfect. Perfect. How does that feel? That was big.
That one's weird. I think I say that every time.
You know, you do. You do. And it is weird, right? But
Yeah.
I haven't witnessed an altar for a while. So,
I feel so big right now.
I know because she was little. That's fabulous.
I feel huge right now. Not like a fat person, just like
No,
a
no, no.
really
It's like
tall
great.
person.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was
You
done.
know, I think you said energy fields are 6 feet, but I think mine's 8 feet.
You should probably pull it in just a little bit. When I was really big, I had a healer tell me that don't ever skydive because you'll fall apart. You'll disintegrate, right? So you don't want to be so big that, everything's stretched.
Yeah.
6 feet's pretty normal. So I would work on pulling it in a little bit.
Okay.
Because I think you have a tendency to either be out there, right? And when we're out that far, right? Like things can get in because we're
You
not,
start weekend.
yeah,
That makes sense.
right? It's just like if you took a rubber band and stretched it too far, it's going to be weakened, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah, pull it into about 6 feet. If you're little, push it out to 6 feet. But 6 feet is usually a pretty good to where you're oh, what's the word I'm trying to think of right now? Your shield is intact and solid.
The right amount of permeability.
Yes. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That makes sense.
Now, you promised her, so you have to go play some and do something fun.
Yeah. And I have to wear a dress, apparently. Yeah, I have to wear a dress.
All right, dude, you okay?
So I think so. I feel yeah, super, super strange, but it'll be okay. Not bad.
Hey, it was like you had this weakness and this strength, and they were opposing. Right?
Yeah.
Kind of like as a child, my strength was always in my panther, which was always over there, right?
Yeah.
And I had to get vicious, right? When I became him, I could be vicious, right? So it's kind of that same thing. So I get that idea, right? It was like you were just, now that they're woven together, there's going to be safety. But there is definitely a winding together because that feels like a sever that that feels like the biggest piece to me. one of the bigger pieces.
Definitely. Yeah, I feel that too.
Yeah. So if you can get outside, that's going to shift probably faster than.
Make everything feel home. Like home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, stay in touch with me and I'll be checking on you later.
Okay. I know I'm a little spacey, but I know it's just the weaving.
Yeah. It's just like,
Yeah.
yeah, just allow it, go sit by the creek and let Macy throw rocks, right?
Yeah. It'll be good. Thank you.
I love
I
you.
love you.
All right.
Okay.